And let's look at her evidence in greater detail now. We speak to a security expert from the College of Law and School of Criminal Justice at UNISA, Professor Mpho Matlala. Prof, thank you so much for bearing with us and listening to the this testimony with us as we were listening then to the final minutes, as one could put it. Thank you so much for that. But let's just start perhaps firstly with, the general and her demeanor as far as the SAPS matters are concerned, especially when it comes to her description of that moment when she saw the letter of the disbandment and how she says that she was actually shocked by it.
Good evening to you and good evening to the viewers, and thank you for having me. Generally, I thought General Mosikili's demeanor was, she comes across as a humble person. I saw humility, and I saw somebody who says, look, I'm innocent, and I am this person who is very serious about integrity and honesty. When in fact, from where I stand, there are red flags that can be that I picked up, and I was very disappointed with some of the honorable members, specifically from certain parties, because I thought that they were treating the general with kid gloves. Safe to say that maybe the IFP, the Patriotic Alliance, and the EFF really came out to really actually say, General, we are holding you accountable.
And Prof, one of the matters, right, that is quite serious is this matter of her statement. She says that she's not aware of how she perjured herself as far as that incident at Macro is concerned. But when you listen to MP Ashley Sauls, they're speaking about the differences, the material differences when it comes to her statement, is that she speaks about having met this Tato at Macro, and then she realized at the till that her purse is gone. But at the same time, in another statement, then becomes the incident and, in greater detail, going to Burger King, coming back, driving back and realizing that this particular individual has left with her belongings. When it comes to these differences, how serious is this? Because she seems to be suggesting that in one statement she was just basically making a summary, but in another she went into greater detail. But this is a serious case, and especially with such a difference in information.
Yeah, that's precisely the point. This type of inconsistencies are picked up within the context of an ad hoc committee where the burden of proof is lesser than in a criminal matter. Now, you can imagine when the burden of proof in an ad hoc committee is on the balance of probabilities, what is she going to do when she gets to court where the burden is much higher, is beyond reasonable doubt? But this is a serious matter because, if I recall, for the matter to get to IPIT, I know that there were talks of her trying to get some merchandise from Macro, Backdoor, and the phone was gone, the money was gone, and all. Whether that is true or not, we leave that to investigations. But here is where I feel that, in relation to the same matter, that the ad hoc committee members did not hold General Mosikili to account. By her own version, General Mosikili says she found out that there was an organized crime syndicate operating around that Macro in relation to stealing phones. She says she then escalated or caused her case to be escalated to organized crime. Now, here is where I have a problem. One, it is overreach by her. She used her position as a deputy national commissioner and a general in the police to give a matter priority that did not deserve at the time. And I'll tell you why I say it's overreach. She should have allowed the investigation officer at the station to investigate, and based on what is uncovered, then the investigation officer should have been the one at station level to say, this is a much more serious matter. I don't have resources to investigate this. Let it go to organized crime, because organized crime is a highly specialized environment with highly specialized equipment. Now they're deploying very highly sophisticated skills and resources for a simple matter of a cell phone. For me, that is mismanagement of resources. It's like killing a fly with a 5-pound hammer.
Yeah. And when you think about that particular matter, it also came out in the Nhlanhla Commission during the testimony of Lieutenant General Shadrack Sibiya. He alluded to this matter, and it does speak about the seriousness of it. As a final question then, the issue of the investigations, for example, into the Senzo Meyiwa murder scene, there's a lot of contamination still that we are hearing, the claims thereof, in the Ad Hoc Committee. And this, of course, then leads to this question that the chair then asks there to say, what jeopardizes the investigations is actually having multiple teams coming into a matter and you're not able to move forward. We heard about this as well in the Nhlanhla matter, to say that you were not able to effectively, as the Hawks, as the investigators, work when they were trying to take down Katiso Molefe. This serious issue of having multiple units come and work, others don't work together, others are seemingly fighting. How much of a risk does this put investigations in?
It kills the case entirely, because when there are multiple actors on a crime scene without common purpose, without a single point of coordination, then you have got to ask yourself, what is the motive for the presence of these other players who are coming around flexing their high ranks, and we don't even know what they're doing there, who they have been in contact with that evening, who are they serving. For example, the Senzo Meyiwa crime scene had been cleaned out. That is defeating the ends of justice or the cause of justice. Why have people not been arrested? Why do we have two case dockets on the same matter? What are all these players at senior management who are non-operational, by the way? What are they doing at the scene of crime? So I think it is in that context that I would also say the Senzo Meyiwa case in particular, how it happened, in fact, should go to the Nhlanhla Commission and be dealt with as a separate matter of interference, because there are multiple players and a lot of very influential people in society whose influence or suspected influence in the criminal justice system should be adequately probed. And I don't think the Meyiwa family is getting justice.
And certainly more questions than answers, but I appreciate your time, Prof. Thank you so much for speaking to us. That's the security expert there from the College of Law and School of Criminal Justice at UNISA, Professor Mpho Matlala.